I love you. Welcome back to the Couch Potatoes. I am the Green Traveler from Gorsh.
And I am taking a drink of water. I am the Faceless Leone.
Unprofessional.
Unprofessional. Yeah, I wasn't even sitting up straight. I was slouching big time. So, yeah, this is Green and Faceless on the Couch. I think I said I'm the Faceless Leone, but that doesn't really matter.
You did
Okay.
that at least.
Anyways, we're here for a TV Talks, which I'm usually very, very excited about. And I mean, I'm less excited about talking about
No,
this.
you're terribly excited about this. It's the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I can't get enough of it.
I will say that I didn't have any expectations going in for this.
That's fair.
Besides that, it was going to be spies and scrolls, and it was that, and I thought it was pretty good for that. But I also am not super thrilled about talking about it because it's spy stuff, and we've said time and time and again,
we can't do spy stuff.
We're not good at talking about spy stuff for some reason.
Hey,
but
I will be completely honest. I was able to follow this more,
sure, because
of Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh yes, Samuel L. Jackson. That's
good. I mean, and also because it's superhero, but like compared to Winter Soldier, it's because that was another spy superhero film that we have both been on record as saying we don't remember it.
No.
We've seen it so many times, but we can't remember everything about Winter Soldier. It's really hard.
Some of the beats, I know some of the beats, but just because they're the comic book beats. They're the same beats.
Literally, I remember Winter Soldier sitting at that one person's table in the dark. That's about it.
Person's table in the dark. I don't even fucking know, man.
It's just he's about to assassinate that person, and he's just sitting in the dark, and it's creepy. And I remember that.
You remember that time where he ate at the bar with that Japanese guy?
Nope.
Yeah, that's because it's in the TV series. But that's all I could think of.
Jesus.
I know his hair was long.
I don't know why, but our brains, yours and mine, and I'm sure many other people out there, when it's a spy movie, they don't operate.
It doesn't operate.
Our brains are just done.
But I do, I will piggyback on what you said, that Samuel L. Jackson did make it interesting. I was very interested in what he was doing.
I loved watching him in this because it's a very different. So we're talking Secret Invasion. I don't know if you even mentioned that. I'm sure we did somewhere. Yeah.
Who knows?
We're both we've hit brick walls. It's after a long work day. We're tired. You know how it goes. But it's Secret Invasion is the comic book story of Nick Fury finding out that a shit ton of Skrulls have infiltrated the Earth, and many of the superheroes themselves are also secretly Skrulls. And Skrulls, as we've learned from Captain Marvel, are the shape-shifting green aliens. That in Captain Marvel, Fury was like, "I'll find you guys a home." It's well, we can be friends. Ha ha ha! Earth's great. We love New York. He's failed. Fury has failed in everything. He's failed. The blip happened. Thanos' snap. Fury was, he failed to stop Thanos' snap. He himself got blipped.
Yeah.
He disappeared along with everybody.
He's definitely got PTSD and.
Oh, yeah.
In the very early episodes, Jackson plays the PTSD very well. And I'm not saying that, he's less traumatized by the end. He's just more able to take action than he was.
He's more focused on something else, too.
Yeah.
But, ever since he came back from the snap, Fury has been lost up in space.
Yeah. At
the Saber Station, that satellite that's orbiting. And, he's been having his friend Talos, who is a Skrull, played by Ben Mendelsohn, right? Ben Mendelsohn?
Yep, that's right. Ben Mendelsohn. Okay.
Yeah, and he's been having Talos basically impersonate Fury, as we've seen in some other movie. I don't remember which.
Really?
Maybe it was Captain Marvel also. I can't remember. But
I don't know.
Yeah, there's one movie where Talos and somebody else were impersonating him in Maria Hill.
Maybe during the blip, he was impersonating him.
I can't remember. There's so many fucking projects in the MCU now, which I love. I will be honest. Like, the thing about Star Wars is that Star Wars is very one note, very kind of boring. Like, sure. I've enjoyed some of the movies and I've tried to enjoy some of the shows, but like after a while, it just all starts to feel the same. Mm-hmm. And like many people can say that about the MCU too. I understand that maybe some people see every single MCU as the same, but I really do feel like there's been an urgency, especially more recently, to like make the movies all feel a little different. They're all not just superhero stories or something else.
They themselves realized that they were getting rather formulaic, that they could, and to stay successful, they need to change it up. And I do think that they're doing a pretty good job, particularly with the TV shows. There's some argument there. But they each had their own feeling. They really did.
But whether they're doing well or not, I mean, who's to say? That's all hidden in the Disney Plus archives. I'm sure there's stats Disney, and stuff out there.
Disney's all over the place right now.
Disney's like a chicken with its head cut off, just trying to fight so many wars on so many different fronts.
Yeah, because I mean, the previous guy, I forget, he just, I think, kind of overextended.
Bob.
It was another Bob, yeah. And then Iger came back in. That Bob,
Bob Chapek.
Okay.
And then Bob Iger is now the new guy.
Right. Well, like he kind of
the renew guy. He's
the renew guy.
He Grover Cleveland. He Grover Cleveland, the Disney corporation.
And he's being real shrewd, and
he's cutting left and right.
I mean, that's what they brought him back for. I don't recall him being known for that when he was.
No, he's known for the theme parks, and that's what they brought him back for, was because they're hemorrhaging money, and so they're trying to go back to square one, which is, we make a shit ton of money from the theme park.
Right.
We need to be making a shit ton of money more from the theme park, because they've been stupid.
They started making it for only the rich.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know if Bob Chapek, like, if it was all his decisions or whatever. But yeah, it's like they started focusing more on streaming and less on the theme park, and the theme park prices started to go up and everything. And in the streaming, they were trying to do so much, and then they're also remaking all their fucking animations in a live action, which has lost them billions of dollars. It really has.
They all suck.
But like, all of that to say though that like, I enjoy what's going on with Marvel. I enjoy this big world that's happening, this historical thing. Like, I know there's people out there who are just done with it.
Sure.
They're burnt out. But I still enjoy it. I like seeing the history of this, because now we're watching it shift to this new phase. We've had the Infinity Saga, and now we're doing what's basically looks like it's going to be the Dark Reign Saga. I mean, they're doing multiverse saga is what they're calling it, but it looks like it's leading to the Dark Reign stories of the comics, which is really exciting. Like, that's going to be fun to watch if they do it right.
Right.
But it all depends on Marvel, or on Disney, I mean, because this show, it seemed like the budget was like all over the place. Yeah, like, sometimes it seemed really well done, and then other times it was just like, what in the fuck are these effects?
Been the reshoots. Like, maybe they had no budget for the reshoots or something. But I agree. Yeah, it was. Sometimes it was pretty cool. Like, there were some really good shifting scenes. When I'm talking about shifting, I mean from a human looking character to shape-shifting. Thank you.
Well, I mean, like, that the end of the first episode looked beautiful. Like, there's a moment where Gravik is walking through a crowd of people, and Fury is, following him along, because Gravik is shape-shifting into these people that Fury has ran into throughout that episode.
Yeah.
There's like three specific people that Fury bumped into in the episode. Like, just nobodies, like homeless person on the street, a little girl, that kind of stuff. And then, he sees them in this crowd, and as he's following them, they shapeshift into, like, all these different people he's met until they shapeshift finally into Gravik.
Yeah.
And that scene was great. that looked so well done. I really liked it. It was kind of like, oh my god, this Gravik guy is like, they really set him up well in that first episode.
They did.
Because then there's a huge explosion.
I don't know if we really
crazy.
Introduced who Gravik is yet. So let's hop back.
No,
let's hop into the.
We're failing this so hard.
No, that was just the introduction. So, Talos, while Fury has been away, actually got kicked out of being the general for the Skrulls, and that's their leader. And Gravik has taken over. He was one time a ally of both Fury and Talos, but he's angry because they haven't been finding them a new home. They've been stuck in New Skrodos, which is in like Chernobyl, I think. I don't remember which.
Somewhere.
It's something that's irradiated because the Skrulls are immune to radiation.
And not only has Fury failed, he's also abandoned them. He's literally just up with his PTSD up in the Saber station.
It does seem like he forgot about them, which is a little sad for someone else that I'll get to. But Gravik is played by Kingsley Benadir. And
recently on Barbie.
Beautiful yes. Barbie. Okay, I thought I recognized him in there.
He's a kin, man.
Yeah, he's one of the kins. Oh, so
I'm just a kin.
I'm just a kin.
And where else I'll be? Don't sue us. I'm sorry. I won't sing any more of it. It's a good song. It's a good movie. Go see Barbie, everybody.
Go see
it's
Barbie.
Beautiful.
So,
and then watch our review on it.
Gravik is having the Skrulls invade, thus the name, thus what you've already explained, and
they are among us.
They are among us, and a lot more than Fury thinks too. When he comes down for whatever reason, there's an incident of some kind. I can't recall.
Yeah.
We just read the synopsises for this.
It's already gone. It was unimportant.
So but it is what gets Fury back. Talos tells him that there's over 1 million Skrulls on Earth.
Wow.
And that's
crazy.
That is also like basically all the Skrulls there are in the MCU anyways.
Right.
Because they're refugees.
Yeah. And I mean, you got to think about it. In the comics, these Skrulls were like a big superheroes.
Yes. They supervillains.
They still could be in the MCU because, the effects of this might still go on with the next, the Captain America movie and whatever after that.
How they subverted it in Captain Marvel, though. Like, you're expecting them to be the big bad guys. And to an extent, they are a minor villain. But the real villain is the Kree. And I thought that was pretty cool. We'll talk
I think they did a great job at turning them into villains, though.
Yes.
Villains is really weird, too, because villains. As you mentioned, they're just refugees.
Sympathetic villains, and I think the Captain Falcon Winter Soldier, that's not what it's called. In that, I think they have primed the audience to be sympathetic for the terrorists in a little bit, and that's kind of interesting. But everybody's human, even the aliens. So that's I like that.
I just do.
Gravik, though, has everyone infiltrating anywhere, and there are people high up in offices and whatnot.
Around the world.
Around the world. That's a spoiler that I can't say. Fuck. Well, one of them is rather close to the president, we'll say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's obvious. I think a lot of people knew going in.
Obvious too. When you were because,
I mean,
when you were like, have you gotten that reveal yet? And I was like, I don't know. Is he talking about Rhodey? Is it
right? Yeah, I'm sorry, everybody. We gotta talk about it. But I mean, that's the thing.
It's half the show.
Any logical person too would look at the cast list and then look at, be like, Secret Invasion, what's this? They would look at what it was about and be like, Skrulls infiltrate the Avengers in the comics, and so it's like, oh, okay. And then they look at the cast list and the only Avenger they see is Rhodey, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
I see it.
So, Colonel James Rhodes is a Skrull in this, played by Don Cheadle, and the Skrull name is Rava.
Not Terrence Howard.
Not Terrence Howard. I always wanted to know what happened, and maybe we'll get to that story. Let's get to that story when we do Iron Man. All right. Well,
yeah. I wonder how Terrence feels right now. I wonder if he's watching this and he's just like, fuck.
I had so many opportunities. He's done some really good art, though. I haven't watched, I believe it's Empire. I haven't watched that, but he's done some really good stuff. And I've heard good
I've
things
watched
Empire.
Shakira's Empire. Highly recommend that.
Is that a
music video?
A music video.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good song.
So Rhodes is like, after this big bunch of stuff happens, and another spoiler, Maria Hill dies.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Kobe Smulders right away. Like right away.
First episode, man. And I complained about this before camera, and I'm going to complain about it on camera, before mic, on mic too. But I'm pissed about this because I like Kobe Smulders just because of How I Met Your Mother. I like her as Maria Hill because, she's fucking wonderful. She's a great actor, and she's, this is a great character, and she's been in the background for so fucking long. And when they were advertising this show, they were advertising, with her on it as well. And I was just like, hell yeah, this is going to be a good moment for her to shine. It's going to be, her and Fury buddy cop. This is going to be great.
I thought that was going to happen too. I also thought for a split moment that was going to happen with
Gaia?
Morgan Freeman's character. Where the fuck? Martin Freeman, that is.
I immediately was like, Morgan Freeman has been in the MCU? I was like, who was he? I don't remember.
Martin Freeman, the other one. So Martin Freeman, though, Everett Ross, that's the character's name. That's what I was looking for. And I needed a little bit of searching for Martin Freeman as well. But yeah, he is in the first episode as well.
Yeah.
That's it.
But just the first episode. Just the first
episode. And
okay, sorry. First and final episode. He's in the last one as well.
Oh, that's right. He is.
Yeah. But my problem with Maria Hill though is the episode ends and it's a good cliffhanger. And this whole thing was put out one a week, so I was immediately just like, oh my god, okay. They did not kill her. This is comic books. This is Marvel. Nobody fucking dies. I mean, I know they held on her for a very long time, but she could still have been alive. It's like, it's possible. Mm-hmm. I went to good old internet and looked up the cast list and everything and saw that she was in 6 episodes. She's credited as being in 6 episodes. And I was like, ha, thank God she's all right. Okay, good. And in the next 5 episodes, they all end and cut to the credits. And the very first credit is guest special appearance, Kobe Smulders. She ain't fucking in it.
She's not in it. What if she's one of the Skrull? What if she's always in Skrull paint? Every episode.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Maybe she had small cameo roles and that's how they got away with it. Small little bit roles. But it pissed me the fuck off because I love Maria Hill ever got a fucking chance to shine.
Really?
Never.
No. Her biggest was in one of the Captain America movies, but I can't.
Yeah.
Whatever one Hydra's attacking, that might be
Winter Soldier. Maybe. It would have to be because the other one's Civil War.
Yeah, I don't really remember her in that one.
And First Avenger, which, First Avenger, whatever.
She wasn't really in that one, yeah.
No. But I mean, I'm so like I was so mad. Kobe Smulders. I'm sure they probably won't have killed her off. She probably will come back in a movie. She'll probably be in the Marvels. Who knows?
Well, maybe she's a Skrull now.
Maybe she's a Skrull now. Maybe there'll be another. Yeah, maybe that will happen. Like I don't know. It just pissed me off. There's a lot of like choices that were made in this show that I was just like, God, fuck off. Like,
yeah,
the Rhodey one I like. I like Rhodey. It makes me sad. It does make me sad.
That was sad. And you gotta wonder how long.
It's implied that it was right after him getting shot down in Civil War. So it's implied they took him straight from the hospital, basically. And so that since Captain America Civil War, we've been dealing with a Skrull Rhodey. I don't know. I don't think they clarified it. That's just what I was gathering.
Gotcha. It's a good guess.
Which would be very sad if it is. But
so to get a little bit more back on track of the synopsis.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of the other characters and their role in the story. I think that'll be easier for us. So Emily Clark was somebody who I was kind of excited to see in this because, Daenerys. Yes. And she plays Gaia, who is Talos' daughter, but she is also like Garrick's right-hand person. Gravik. What did I say? Gravik? Garrett. Hey, this is Garrett. He lives next door. He says he's from Skrullos.
He looks like a Garrett.
He says he's from Skrullos. Do you know where that is? That's so fucking cool.
New Skrullos? Come on. Who named that shit? That's stupid. I bet if they had like a really strong Skrull, they would just call him a super Skrull. It's fucking stupid. It's like Superman.
Yeah. Nerds. So Gaia is I guess I wasn't disappointed with Emily Clark's portrayal of the character. It's just like I feel like right now she's got as big a name pool as she's ever going to get, and even though she was an important character, I just didn't feel like there was enough oomph put behind her screen
there's not a lot of like characterization or it's kind of like Captain Marvel in a way, with what Marvel has done with Captain Marvel, where it's just like, look, we have a very strong female character here, don't we, guys? Yeah. And it's just like, you technically do. You have a female who is incredibly strong.
Yeah.
But you haven't done enough to develop them, to personalize them in this universe with everybody else.
And that sucks.
I feel like they're getting there. They're getting there with Captain Marvel, I think. Yeah.
I'm excited for the Marvels. Miss Marvel, I thought they did a really good job of making her a good central character, which if they didn't after like 10 episodes, that would be fucking disappointing.
Right. I mean, also with She-Hulk too. Like they're doing better.
They're doing better.
Absolutely. But Gaia is definitely one of those characters that like it really came across as what's it called, the Mary Sue, like the is like just super strong for no real reason whatsoever. They don't. I don't know. It's really.
It's just to have,
but it's still fun.
Say, hey,
she does a good
job.
Had
a strong woman. It's a half play, is what it is.
Yeah. And, like, what they do with her is a little silly. Like, there's a moment at the end of the third episode where you're just like, oh, my God, another crazy cliffhanger. Oh, my goodness. And then the beginning of the fourth episode is like, psych! Before that happened, something else happened that stopped that from happening. And it was just like...
I hear you complaining, but yet... You're the biggest Doctor Who fan that there ever is.
But see, Doctor Who knows what it is. Doctor Who is like, it's silly, fun, like the rules are bendy, everything's wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. Like it's just about having fun and like telling a good story. Whereas this is trying to be a very serious spy story, and it's just like.
Yeah.
And then you get to the end where, spoilers, you have Super Skrulls. You have certain characters who have
I think we could say Gravik is Super.
Yeah, it's fair to say Gravik, and I honestly might as well say Gaia as well. It's fine.
We've been doing spoilers so far.
Yeah, so why not? Gaia is literally now the strongest character in all of the MCU because she and Gravik at the end of this show are both given the powers of the harvest. That was the big MacGuffin of the series. The scroll we're looking for the harvest, and what the harvest is a mixture of all of the DNA, which would allow them to allow Skrulls to have access to the powers as well.
Yes,
of every single person who fought at the Battle of Earth at the end of Endgame,
including Hawkeye,
which is crazy. Including Hawkeye, they have the abilities of Hawkeye, which is crazy awesome. And other ones though are like, I don't know how. Like, they say it's from the Battle of Earth at Endgame, but they also have the DNA of Extremis from Iron Man 3.
Right, but they had that before they got the harvest. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of other characters that weren't at the battle that are also included in this. Zelda, stop it. That are also included in the harvest overall.
Yeah, so they become Super Skrull, which is typically a Fantastic Four villain, which I feel like since they're doing the Fantastic Four, they could have very well have given him the Fantastic Four powers like he's supposed to have.
They technically did, but they disguised them through other characters.
Yeah, they did.
Because
but I think
he had the stretchy abilities of Mr. Fantastic through Groot.
Yeah.
I can't remember where the fire abilities come from, but there's somebody that had fire.
I don't know. No, Extremis was supposed to be Susan Storm.
Yeah. And then the thing was one of the big hulky guy that that Thanos had following him around.
Oh, okay. Not.
You remember his creepy weirdos that he sent off after Doctor Strange and Iron Man?
I only remember like the thin gaunt one. That's the only one.
Yeah, and then there was a Hulk beastie that followed that guy around. Right. I don't remember what his name was.
And he didn't fight up against the Hulk. He technically
was the Thing.
He didn't fight against the Hulk, did he?
No, he fought against, I think, just Iron Man and Strange.
What a waste.
I can't remember. I'm sure he did other stuff.
Yeah, let's move on from Gaia and talk about one of my favorite actors, Olivia Colman, playing Sonya Falsworth. Now, Olivia, I mean, I did not have the same problem with Coleman's screen time that I did with Emily Clark's, because and it might just because Olivia Colman is kind of a cut above of a lot of actors in the talent region. She's very good is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
Yes, but she runs MI6 in some fashion. She's a high ranking person, and
she's basically a friendly, funner version, not actually friendly, but like a friendly seeming version of Amanda Waller. Yeah. Like, she's just Amanda Waller, but she's not mean and stoic and cold like Amanda Waller is.
So there is a warmth to her, but she uses it to get close to people, and then all of a sudden she'll pull a gun.
She uses it to torture you.
Yes, yeah, she does. And there is a torture scene. Doesn't she have a torture scene? I'm pretty sure she does. Yeah.
And she is enjoying the fuck out of it the whole time, and it's so really, disturbing. Really, but I loved Olivia Colman in that moment.
So her relationship with Samuel L. Jackson's pretty fun too. Like, they have some cheeky conversations, typically over the phone, until they meet up in the end and save the world together. But she's awesome. I thought she was like
she's fabulous.
Yeah, she did a lot of stuff, to get to a place where she could help Fury without anyone asking her for assistance. So it's pretty cool that she's like, oh, this shit.
She's very capable, and you don't question it.
No,
because she's like it's not like a Mary Sue thing, because you realize, one, she's much older and she's been in the same like systems as Fury has his whole life.
Oh yeah.
So it's like you see her basically as just the British Fury,
right?
And it's great. She does a great job. She's wonderful.
She's amazing, and I loved her outfits too.
Oh hell yeah, yeah.
I believe there's just one more character I wanted to talk to about. Yes, being Charlene Woodard playing Vara, whose human persona is Priscilla Davis. Now, this Skrull, back in the 90s, met a young Nick Fury, and they fell in love, and they got married.
Oh my goodness, what?
Yeah, so this whole time, Fury has been married to a Skrull, and he knows it. And a lot of the story, though, of their romance for this show is how much of their relationship is her doing a role for her people to keep an eye on Fury, and how much of his love is just based on the persona that she chose, because she does not go around in her Skrull skin. She is Priscilla Davis, though he calls her Vara.
Yeah. And Priscilla Davis was a doctor or somebody who died of
congenital heart defect is what it says.
Thank you. Yeah. So it's like she knew this person, she worked with that person, and then before that person died, she was basically given that person's permission to just, continue living like her.
Yeah. And and whenever Fury comes into the house, which you could tell he's done this a lot, but he hasn't for a long time, and that's this really sad thing, that he's just been up in space and not paying attention to his wife. Like, she's barely heard from him.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's very sad. And anyways, as soon as he walks in, she's like, oh, there's something wrong with your hand, or something like that, something sly. And he picks up his wedding ring out of the key bowl that's still been there, even though he's been gone for years. And it's just they just pick up from where they left off, and they have a very loving relationship while still being very independent from each other. Yeah.
And that relationship itself is still very rocky, but
exactly.
The fact that they do love each other, somewhere deep down they both love each other, just makes it a good through line throughout this whole series.
Really does.
It's one of the better things of this show.
I the ending might come off a little cheesy to some people, but I actually really liked it.
Me too.
It was a very loving scene between Vara and Fury, and as they board a ship. So it had that E.T. feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I was gonna say maybe we could go for a break and then come back, say what this means for the MCU, but I don't know. I think we talked.
I mean, I can just fit that into a closing statement. I think
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I love you. I mean, I will say I am excited for what this has done to the MCU. I think that there is a lot to explore going forward. The Marvels movie, I'm sure we'll explore it somewhat. Right. And then, from there, it gives a lot of, crazy changes to the whole universe that I think many movies can play with.
Yeah.
And so, I'm interested in where it's going from here. But as a show, it started off really strong. Those first 2 episodes, I was enjoying it. It's got a good theme. I know there is controversy with the theme.
Oh, really?
The images that are used are all AI images, which I do not support either. I support going to artists and everything for all this, But there is an argument to be made for this because that's the theme of this show.
Yeah, is irreplaceable, I guess.
Yeah. What's hiding amongst reality and everything like that. All these people hiding.
What's fact, what's fiction.
And so, like, I understand that people don't like the AI. I don't either. But I think this show does have a good argument to make in why it chose to do AI, just so long as Marvel and Disney promise not to do it in the future.
Yeah, don't make a habit of it. Yeah.
Yeah, don't make a habit of it.
And I think it, like, even... I think there is... no, it's just... I'm totally on the side of the artists on this.
The artists, me too. Yeah,
you got to pay people for art. I mean, what are we gonna do next? Just have it all be AI actors too, and AI.
Well, that's what people were joking about with the. Well, I mean, not even joking. Kind of like some, I'm sure producers were even considering it, but with the writer strike and actor strike going on, there was some talk of just having a full script made from AI. And saying how that worked out. And I'm like, no, that would be the dumbest shit ever. Like, I don't care how smart AI is, that would just feel so fucking weird. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like as a social experiment, it might be very interesting, but like as a one-off, because people you gotta let people have their creative jobs. Like, what else is our brain made for, people? Come on.
Yeah. And I don't support AI whatsoever in that regard. Like, I think there are good uses of AI, but that fucking ain't it.
Right.
Like,
but I am totally in support of whatever technology it is that will take over from us. But
yeah, exactly. We're gonna lose the fight someday, but like not right now. Yeah. You know, for our grandkids maybe, not us.
Yeah, that's our grandkids' problem.
But like this show started off really strong. I get the arguments against the theme, but I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the first 2 episodes. You know, I thought everything was like really kicking pretty well. The endings for, you know, the first episode with Maria Hill, the second episode with Fury walking home to a wife who's a Skrull. Like there were some really good endings. I was like, oh my god, this is really I'm enjoying this.
Yeah.
But then as it just continued on, like, it's only 6 episodes, but like episode 3 through 6, like, it just steadily went downhill for me until I was laughing by episode 6 because of how bad it was. Yeah. Because it's just like, there's good moments,
right? But
the CGI is so awful. There was a moment in this big battle between Gaia and Gravik where I literally had to pause... rewind and pause my TV screen so I could take a photo of it because I was laughing so hard because Gaia changes, you know, she's got the harvest in her, you know, she's become the Super Skrull and she's like morphing into all these new powers and abilities she has, and she gets Drax's arm. But it's shortened. It's like all they did was take Drax's arm and then miniaturize it so it fit on her hand, like it fit her normal arm length. It looked so fucking funny. I was dying. I took a photo of it. I was crying. I sent it to so many different people. Like, I was just like, this is the shit the Secret Invasion is doing. Like, oh my god, this is awful.
It was so bad, and it's so funny because in the scene earlier, like, she was... disguised as someone else, I'll say, and they got the Hulk arm out.
It was so
and it's that looked normal. That looked like a normal proportion. Fine, at least proportionally, it looked normal.
Yeah, it looked right.
Even though, you know, it's a human with a giant arm.
All they did on that one, I feel like with Hulk's arm, all they did was they just, you know, dyed her hand green in regards to like when in post that is in like editing room. They just changed her skin tint on her arm to green, and so it worked. It looked fine. Yeah. And like they wolfed it up a tiny bit. But with Drax, I feel like they were just like, we don't know how to recreate the Drax look without just doing all the makeup that what's his face wears, Dave Bautista. So then they just like went to cut of Guardians of the Galaxy, found the Drax arm, and we're just like, cut, shrink it up, put it right on her arm. There we go. Ooh, that looks ugly. Let's hold on it for only like half a second. but like it's still so fucking noticeable. It's so goddamn funny.
Have you seen? I think it's called Lady in the Water. The M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, with Paul Giamatti.
Yeah. The guy just works out one side of his body.
yeah. It's kind of like Deadpool, where he like loses his hand and he's got the little baby hand coming back. Like, it's so bad. It looks so stupid, and that's a lot of the effects in that final episode. And like even there's a moment in one of the episodes where the president is attacked, and it's supposed to be this huge battle zone where there's helicopters and cars and everything's supposed to be exploding on fire. But it's cut so fucking poorly that you have no idea where anybody is at or who they're facing or which side they're facing. And it's like...
Well, I think
maybe there's an argument.
I do have an argument for it. And that is that there were Skrulls littered among the whole crowd. That
exactly.
Were waiting.
You're supposed to be confused. Yeah. But it's, I don't know. I get that you're supposed to, like, I kind of thought that too.
Still
but
was a little messy.
It's so ugly.
Yeah,
it's so ugly in regards to, like, just the technical handling of it. There's such better ways to do it. And it really just felt like the last few episodes were rushed. Yeah. And if it wasn't, this is all part of my closing statement. This is a 10-minute closing statement. If it wasn't for Samuel L. Jackson holding it all together, I would have been like watching those last few episodes just to have like a good laugh cry. But like Samuel L. Jackson is really good, and so is Olivia Colman. Like everybody's doing great.
Performances are really good.
Yeah, Ben Mendelsohn as Talos, great. Yeah, he was fun. I really enjoy him. Like Kingsley Ben-Adir as Gravik, good villain. Like there's a lot of good stuff about this show. But I only recommend it to the big MCU lover. If you love MCU and you're like, I gotta watch everything, but I forgot about that show.
I'm sure it will be important check it out for that Avengers movie, which is Secret Wars, right? I'm sure it'll be important for that, but I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm sure there'll be another movie that'll summarize what happens pretty well. Probably the Marvels. Probably. They'll probably summarize what happened here just as well as they can. And I'm giving the show 2 stars. It's still good in a way. It's all right. Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah.
But it really just felt like they forgot. This was like the one they forgot about. They're like, this is supposed to be big, but we only gave it like a couple $100 million. So oops.
That's kind of how it feels, and the way that makes me feel is that it might not mean very much for the MCU. Like, I know that all their announcements makes it kind of seem like it's supposed to be a big deal, but like, they've done things that were supposed to be a big deal and then they didn't do anything with it. I.e. Captain Marvel. Now, we haven't seen the Marvels, which is already filmed, but they did not do anything with her, and she's supposed to be the big gun.
She was huge in Endgame. What are you talking about? She
was not a character.
She flew through a spaceship. He was
an atom bomb.
She had a good haircut.
She had a cool haircut. I'll give you that.
Yeah. She carried the Infinity Gauntlet for a couple seconds when they were playing the cat and mouse game to keep away.
They did do
with
that.
Thanos.
Yes. Like I said,
she wasn't a
character. She had absolutely no character moments in that movie.
But they had that moment where all the strong female characters were all together, and she was one of them, and it came up over that hill, remember? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, I'm not being sarcastic at all.
Important. But... For reals,
they're trying.
Yeah, I do think the Marvels will help that. But like, man, they have been stringing Brie Larson along. Man, it's bad.
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe
it's time for her to have a good moment. Yeah.
Yeah, for real. So, I give the show a face. I think it is decent enough to watch. Like you said, I think Samuel L. Jackson's performance really pulls you through. It's a good thing he's the main character. But everybody else's performance is really good, I think. They could have done more. And, there's only 6 episodes. Maybe there could have been 8.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that could have helped my problems with Gaia, at least. Excuse me. They did the same thing with Kit Harington. And
eventually they'll meet.
Yeah, eventually they'll meet in the Black Knight movie.
Well, see, there's a character that in the shows, in the animated shows, Nick Fury. She's like Nick Fury's right hand.
Maria Hill.
No, in the animations. Well, I mean, yeah, there is Maria Hill, but there's another one. I can't remember her name.
Is it Carter? Is it?
No, it's. Anyways, there's some character, I can't find it sadly, but there's some character in the Marvel. Her name's not Gaia, but she's like a very powerful. Like, I don't know if she's Skrull or not, but she follows. She's one of Fury's Shield members, basically. Oh, and there's belief that Gaia is basically going to become that character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. She's just going to be the new Maria Hill for Nick Fury, basically.
Okay. So they won't do anything with her again. Okay.
I'm assuming they will, just for the screen time with her and Kit Harington. I'm sure they'll try to milk that for what they can.
They'll
bring the Black Knight back.
That up. Yeah, they sure will. Yeah, I hope they do, because, like I said, they didn't do anything with that.
Yeah, they will. They have plans for him. I can't remember which show or movie he's supposed to be in next, but he's going to be in something.
A Black Knight show would be fun. Like, it is obscure enough that they could really make a fun fantasy-esque modern.
That could be their next Guardians of the Galaxy kind of thing. Go with these like random weird characters. DC's already doing with Blue Beetle. They haven't even started the new Get James Gunn universe, and they're bringing out Blue Beetle.
Hey, you know what? I've heard that it's not doing so well money-wise, but it came out the same week.
I've heard it's all right though. Yeah.
Yeah, I do want to see it. A lot of Latino people are excited about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see it this weekend at least.
I think it's the first main character that's in the superhero movies, at least in the DCU.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited for it, and I'm very excited for George Lopez's beard. So,
yeah.
Are you ready
someday Marvel will remember that they have a massive, what was his name? Tiamat, the endless, the god, and what was that movie Tiamat? Called? Eternals. The god at the end of Eternals that came.
It might be Galactus. A celestial. He's a celestial.
No, it wasn't a celestial. Was it a celestial that came out of the ocean? It wasn't Galactus, because they're going to do Galactus.
They're going to do Galactus
in the next phase.
Well,
yeah. There's rumors that they might be casting Antonio Banderas. I love it. I think that works really
Galactus?
Well. Yes. I love that.
Well, it's going to be a lot better than the weird world plasma monster that he was in the Silver Surfer movie.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. That was perfect.
We'll get there.
That was a good movie. We'll get there.
So, that's the show.
It is. Thanks for sticking with us, everybody. If you enjoyed this and you want more of this, head down to patreon.com/greenandfaceless. Check out our subscription tiers. Like, comment, and subscribe. Do all the fun things. Yeah. Give us reviews. Whatever. Talk to us. Be with us on the couch.
Participate. Potato bait.
Potato bait.
That's
when you masturbate. That's when you masturbate a tomato.
A tomato.
A tomato. I'm getting confused. I'm the Green Traveler from Gorge.
And I am the Faceless Leone. We're ending the episode. Before we embarrass ourselves further, I have to edit this mess. Safe travels and good nights. Green and Faceless on the Couch is a proud production of FictionWorks 19. Are you a fan of the show? Feel free to contact us at greenandfacelessfans@gmail.com or visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/greenandfaceless. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, or rate us on Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much for listening.